In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most requested features everybody's been asking from PlayStation Network. It's finally coming. It'll be hitting the PlayStation Preview program soon, but then it'll be hitting for everyone in early 2019. Also, I want to take a look at the top PlayStation 4 game downloads for the month of September. Also have a ton of news about Assassin's Creed to go over. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is doing very well from a commercial standpoint. We got a new patch for that game, and we have some information on Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster. Remember, that is going to be included with the AC Odyssey Season Pass. Also, there are a couple of free avatars available on the PlayStation Store right now, and there are a couple of great deals available right now, including a great deal on Kingdom Come Deliverance and a great deal on Dragon's Crown Pro. That game is getting cheaper and cheaper, and a game that I was pretty vocal about being a little bit overpriced during its initial release. More on those deals at the end of this video. First, let's talk about a feature that everybody's been asking for so long. PlayStation Network Online ID change feature is entering the PS Preview program soon. The announcement came over from the PlayStation blog, and I want to read a little bit of it. This is coming from Sid Schumann, director of social media. Quote, "We're happy to announce that we will soon begin testing the long-awaited feature that will allow users to change their PlayStation Network Online ID from their PlayStation 4 system. The PSN Online ID change feature beta will be a part of the PlayStation Preview program and will become available to select users that have pre-registered as testers for previous PS4 software betas. During the preview program, you will be able to change your online ID as many times as you want. The first change is free, and changes after that will cost $9.99 USD/CAD. However, for PlayStation Plus subscribers, it will cost $4.99 after the first change. Changes to your online ID can be made through the settings menu or via the profile page of your PlayStation 4. Now, it sounds like the first change is going to be free for everyone when this feature rolls out in early 2019, which is exactly what I was asking for. I figured that Sony wouldn't come through with that, but I know a lot of you guys made your PSN accounts all the way back in like 2008, 2009. Maybe you have a name like XX, your mom is fat, XX drop shot sniper, XX420 or something crazy like that. And guess what? Maybe you were 12 years old when you made your PSN account. Now you're like 22, and that name is a little bit embarrassing, but you didn't want to make a new account because all your games are tied there, all your trophies are tied to that account, and you were kind of just SOL. But now it looks like you're not even gonna have to pay for your first name, so you can change it to something you want, and I think it's really cool. Like, I was expecting it to cost $9.99 for changes. I know over on Steam you can change your name as many times as you want for absolutely nothing, but I figured it would be a little different on PSN, and it's extra revenue for Sony to collect. Just thinking about it from a business standpoint, I figured it was a foregone conclusion that changes would cost money, but hey, you're getting the first one, and if you're a Plus subscriber, it'll be only $4.99 after the first change. Ideally, you shouldn't have to pay at all for your PlayStation Network name changes, but hey, it is to be expected. That's what the market's been conditioned to. It's just great to see this feature is finally being implemented. I've literally been asking for this feature for 8 to 10 years. It's taken way longer than it should have, but hey, better late than never. By the way, the preview program for this feature is scheduled to conclude at the end of November 2018, and then again, the full rollout of the feature to all PS4 owners is planned for early 2019, but that could change. They say to stay tuned for updates down the road. So that's great to hear, but moving on from that, let's look at the PlayStation Store's top downloads for the month of September. We'll look at the top 10 PS4 games, and I do want to take a look at the top 10 PSVR games as well. On the PS4 side of things, I think it goes as no surprise. Number 1 is Marvel's Spider-Man. That game is doing exceptionally well. Number 2 is NBA 2K19. FIFA 19 hits number 3. Battlefield 1 is number 4, probably because that game was on sale so many times, and I believe that was the month they were also giving out a bunch of the DLC, so that went hand in hand. Number 5 was Destiny 2 Forsaken Legendary Collection. 6 was NHL 19. 7 was Madden NFL 19. Grand Theft Auto 5 still holding 4 at number 8. Here's a little bit of a shocker. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is all the way down at number 9. So GTA 5 is selling even better than SOTR. I made that video prior to SOTR's release, and a lot of you guys went against what I was saying. I knew that Shadow of the Tomb Raider was gonna be a great game, but I just had reservations of how this game was gonna do commercially, given the fact it was released just a week after Marvel's Spider-Man, and it looks like what I said in that video was coming to fruition. It was a game that was received well from a critical standpoint, but commercially, I just don't think it's resonating with gamers, and the fact that it's all the way down at number 9, given the fact that it's a new release and it's being outsold by all of these games, sure, it would be one thing if it was at number 3 or number 4, but all the way at number 9, that's a little bit of a shocker. On the PSVR side of things, number 1 was Firewall Zero Hour. That was a game that actually released in late August. so cool to see it still holding up in September. Number 2 was Super Hot VR, 3 was Creed Rise to Glory, 4 was Job Simulator, 5 was Rick and Morty Virtual Reality, 6 was Batman Arkham VR, 7 was Moss, 8 was PSVR World, 9 Until Dawn Rush of Blood, and 10 was Catch and Release. We'll leave a link to the PlayStation blog post in the description box down below. You can look at free-to-play games, PS Vita games, PS4 themes, and PlayStation classics as well, so check that out if you are interested. Moving on from that, I want to talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed. Since we just went over some commercial statistics, how about this? Assassin's Creed Odyssey beats the franchise record for the best launch week sales on current gen. Now that sounds very good on the surface, but that isn't really all too much of a shocker, because going back to 2013, AC has been fumbling a little bit. Now I did think the 2013 release in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was absolutely excellent. However, given the fact this is just looking at current gen releases, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was a launch title and not too many people had a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One at that point, so you could see why the numbers for that release would be a little bit lower. Then you had Assassin's Creed Unity, which was an absolute train wreck. Assassin's Creed Syndicate didn't perform well commercially. Assassin's Creed Origins did very well, but that was the game that really revitalized the series, and you had that revitalization heading into the release of AC Odyssey, so it just built upon that. So this is definitely positive news, and here's the official statement from Vice President of Sales and Marketing over at Ubisoft. "We are incredibly proud of what the team accomplished with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and humbled by the amazing reception from critics and players. Based on the quality of the game and the very encouraging reactions from players, we expect Odyssey to be one of the top performing Assassin's Creed games of all time. Launch is just the start of this epic journey. We have robust content plans for Assassin's Creed Odyssey that will keep players engaged and exploring the game's beautiful and compelling world for a long time to come." Now, of course, what he's talking about is that the Season Pass is quite sizable. We're gonna have 2 big single-player expansions, and of course, the other part of that Season Pass is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which we'll talk about in just a second. But also, Assassin's Creed Odyssey has received a brand new patch on the PlayStation 4 1.0.3, just a bunch of quality of life and usability improvement features, and it's said to address various game-breaking issues that could happen in specific locations, so make sure you download that update if you're playing AC Odyssey. Moving on from that, I know a lot of you guys picked up the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Season Pass just for the fact Assassin's Creed 3 will be remastered onto the PlayStation 4, and that is pretty exciting. But what improvements can you expect with Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered? Well, Ubisoft has shed the light on that. Here's what you're gonna get. Assassin's Creed 3 has been remastered for the PlayStation 4, now featuring 4K and HDR on PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, and PC. It'll be 1080p on PS4 and Xbox One, and it'll feature higher resolution textures, new lighting rendering systems, in addition to several other graphical enhancements. Gameplay mechanics have also been improved, with several features being revamped or tweaked. Looks like the game won't be played in 60 frames per second, which I was kind of expecting. I believe Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered also runs at 30 frames per second. I just don't get why that is the case. Figured it would be pretty easy to get this game running at 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 4 Pro, but hey, as long as it's a smooth 30 FPS, I think gamers will be happy with that, but I would really like to see a smooth 60 FPS, especially because this is a PS3 game, but hey, what can you do? Moving on from that, thanks to Wario64 over on Twitter, he pointed out that a bunch of free avatars are available on the PlayStation Store right now. Just a couple of quirky avatars if you want to customize your profile. There's a Crystal Slime avatar, a bunch of Earthlock avatars, a Honey Slime avatar, Hunter Slime avatar. There's a couple of Brawl Out avatars, Red Slime avatars. Check it out, we'll leave it in the description box down below if you want to add a quirky avatar to your account. Lastly, I do want to take a look at a couple of great game deals available right now. Over on Amazon, you can pick up Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's down to $29.99 on the PlayStation 4. Now, this is a great price, but what's a little bit disappointing is Amazon's actually got the Xbox One version down to just $19.99. PS4 players are paying $10 more, so that's a little bit unfortunate. If it was $20, that would be an absolutely awesome deal. Still at $30, I would say that KCD is worth a buy, a game that was received pretty well on release. The only issues were really from a technical side, and a lot of that has been remedied since its original release. So if you want a quality historical RPG to get into, $30 for Kingdom Come Deliverance is a pretty good buy. Also, over at GameStop, Dragon's Crown Pro is continuing to drop in price. That is down to $19.99. A game that I complained about its pricing back when it was released. It was released at a whopping $49.99, and I just thought that was way too expensive. Now that it's down to $19.99, I think it's a much more palatable buy. I feel like I have to complain more about these game remasters pricing. Burnout Paradise Remastered I thought was priced too high, and now it's available for like $10 on the PlayStation Store. Dragon's Crown Pro is down to $20. I think Disgaea 1 is way overpriced. Hopefully that game gets discounted fairly quickly. $50 $20 for a PS2 game. No Moss, that is absolutely overpriced, so hopefully that goes down in price too, but for now, Dragon's Crown Pro for $20, definitely a good buy. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, PlayStation Network Online ID changes is coming soon, gonna be rolled out in preview before the end of the year, and everyone will be getting the feature in early 2019. Marvel Spider-Man tops September's download for the PlayStation Store. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is beating the franchise record on current gen. Assassin's Creed 3 looks to be a sizable improvement on PS4 opposed to the original version. A couple of free avatars available on the PSN Store right now, and great deals on Kingdom Come Deliverance and Dragon's Crown Pro. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.